Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to continue to talk about sampling methods. We're going to start off on the bottom of page 12 and we're going to do some examples. I kind of just wanted to have the definitions and the examples separate so the videos weren't so long. Okay, so the first example we have here is the Manhattan Tower Center Management plans to survey a random sample of 4 stores to determine their desired hours of operation for the holiday season. Okay, we have a table where we're going to choose, they want a simple random sample of 4 stores. Okay, so the first step when you're taking a simple random sample is to number the population. So I'm going to number the population from 1 to 28. Okay, so each one of these would be numbered. I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to 28. There are 28 stores there. That's the first step. We're going to actually go through this with the random number generator over the next couple days. After that, I'm going to use the random number generator. Remember, we can abbreviate RNG on the calculator. To generate 4, remember we need the word unique numbers. Okay, now once we've generated those 4 unique numbers, we're going to use the stores that correspond to those numbers. And record the hours of operation for the holiday season. Now, again, you do have to do writing and statistics. This first unit, there's a lot more writing than the other units. Okay, so that's how you take a simple random sample. Now, moving on, we're going to take a look at example, I guess I should move this up. Let me leave that there so you can look at that for a second. So again, we're going to number the population from 1 to 28, then use the random number generator in the calculator to generate 4 unique numbers, and then use the stores that correspond to those numbers and record the hours of operation for the holiday season. Okay, I'll leave that there for a second, and then you can pause the video if you need to record it. Okay, moving on to our next example that has to do with this. So what we have is the sampling at a school assembly. And what they wanted you to do is describe how we'd use the following sampling methods to select 80 students to complete the survey. Now, one thing, if you look at this closely, they want a sample of 80 students. They didn't really draw it all out, but there are 800 students in the population. I'm not going to totally zoom in, but right over there. So no, there's 800 students in the population. You could get that from over there, or from when they go down here, they talk about the total number of students. It goes all the way up to 800. So what I'd like you to do is take a minute and try the simple random sample on your own. We've already done a simple random sample, but I will show you that answer tomorrow in class. Okay? The other thing I would like you to do for this sample, I want you to think about what would be the best way to stratify. And then if you can just try and describe a stratified sample, that would be great. Cluster, and then also how you could do a systematic random sample. So attempt to fill this in, and then we will go over this. Okay, now let's take a look at example 3. Example 2 again, sometimes I'm going to give you examples I want you just to finish on your own that we're going to talk about in class. And right here. Oh, it's not focusing well. See, I guess in the videos you truly get how things would be in class sometimes, because I would have been having the same issue. Okay, so for example 3, it says, which of the following sampling methods produces a random sample from a class of 30 students, 15 boys and 15 girls? So our first choice is Mr. Doughty selects the first 6 students to enter the room. Okay, that one's not going to work. That's not random. That's a convenient sample, so that's no. This is convenient, so that's a no. Second one, Mrs. Sapp numbers the students and uses a random number generator to select 3 boys and 3 girls. Yeah, that seems random. It looks like she's actually doing a stratified one. So I think that's going to be our go-to, but let's read the third one. Mr. Baumgartner selects the 6 students seated in the back of the classroom. Again, that's not random. That's just whoever closest, probably convenience. So I think we are right. We're going to go with B. Okay, they took a stratified random sample, and that works out great. Okay, and then example 4. It says USD 383 wants a representative sample of elementary school families in Manhattan to complete a survey on their satisfaction with their child's education. Okay, USD 383 first divide the population into similar groups by schools. They've got Marlette, Ogden, Bluemont, etc. Then they ask each school to select 5 representative families from their school. So, part A wants to know, USD 383 divided the families into strata, but did not perform a stratified random sample. Explain why not. Okay, the reason it's not random is each school selected. Okay, so they selected the 5 representative. We should probably say each school. Each, to cross off the whole line. Sorry. Each school selected the 5 representatives. They weren't random. Okay. Sad thing is I had this all written out and then I still didn't write it. But anyways, right there, since each school got to select the 5 representatives, that's what not made it a good sample. If I was in charge of the school, I would pick 5 families I knew were happy. So hopefully the whole school is happy, but that's probably not the case. So for the next one, they wanted you to suggest a way to improve the sampling method. Okay, so once you have your strata, because they did stratify here by school, what they need to do, instead of picking 5 representatives, they need to take a random sample. So take a simple random sample of 5 students from each school. Okay, and then our last example we're going to do for this video is, suppose the Kansas City Star published an article stating, many people are using drugs at work. The article listed the following information. The survey questioned 205 people who called the National Drug Helpline, chosen at random, during a 4-week period in March. 91% of the callers admitted that they sometimes worked under the influence of drugs. So this should have been they. Of course, I find the typos after I printed it. So first of all, they want to know what kind of sampling method was used there. Okay, so we have to think about what's taking place. So what kind of sampling method that would be. Okay, so we're going back. They went in the survey question 205 people who called the National Drug Helpline. So unfortunately in this case, you're calling in. This is a voluntary sample. Okay. Now for part B, describe the population this sample was drawn from. So, they published the article, so where they got this from, I want you to think about that, and I want you to describe your population. Okay, this will be another thing we'll go over in class. We spent some time on that, so go ahead and see if you can do it, and after those exit tickets, I want to make sure you can get that done. And then the last thing is explain why this survey does not justify the claim made in the headline. Okay, it wasn't random. If it's not random, you can't generalize. I know for one, I don't use drugs at work, and most people I know don't. In fact, I don't know anyone who does, so which is a good thing. So obviously this was not a good observational study. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop there, and we will finish up the next in the next video.